Activate.
Hey guys, this is Cacophonisaurus, me and Colin and our little guest
Joe Gonska. He lives in Michigan.
Yep.
Because
Holy
he's
shit, how big is this?
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Crap and a half.
Do we want to read this entire thing?
That is the question of the night, right?
We were picking out...
let's see. What are these numbers? We can split them up by numbers. You see, like, right here, how it's got that. When you scrolled through, I saw those a lot. I'm pretty sure anyways. Yeah, see? See? Lots of these, so we could read this gargantuan fucking story and then split up all the videos by number. But God, this would be like a 12-part video.
Yeah. Alright, so
suck
guys,
it up. It's sexy.
You get to hear my sexy voice, which is, bonus. That's nice.
And then in the background we have Joe Gonska, who will just laugh at everything we say. Proven. And then you've got me, and I'll probably just be texting.
Because, he's just a dick and doesn't pay attention.
I'll pay more attention than you when you text.
This story is called Our Last Goodbye.
It's by RegaingSemi. I like that
I
name.
guess it's has to do with RegaingSemi. Wow, that just my mind just started, its gears just started turning.
Reminds me of Alien.
Attempting to, and just realizing, oh, what? Anyway.
It's funny because penises are raging. Anyways, let's get to the story.
Alright. Spike?
Check my first text.
Spike, wake up. It's time to wake up. Hundreds of years of darkness fell like a call from Spike's eyes. He opened them to a slit, and the brightness forced his irises to contract. Every part of his body was stiff from a century of disuse. Even his eyes felt stiff. All he could see was a blur. Spike? It's me. It was really her. There was no mistaking that voice. Twilight? Spike's voice was... Oh. Twilight? That sounded just retarded, actually. I don't care. Spike's voice was now a deep rumble, yet he felt like a child again when he was being woken up by her voice. Is it really you?
As opposed to?
She finally came into focus. She was as beautiful as the last day he had seen her. After her coronation...
What?
After her coronation.
Oh, okay. So
this is in the future, I guess.
Very far in the future, yeah.
Wait, so how long do ponies live?
Fucking however long. Well, she just got immortalized.
Maybe these are years.
Because it said centuries, so that's like 100 years.
That's clever. Alright, we'll keep reading. You'll figure out in about 2 seconds why we're freaking out.
At her coronation. She had wings now.
She's an alicorn, goddammit.
Exactly. He couldn't get over those wings. They weren't the silly, magical, artificial flutter wings she had sometimes cast upon herself or her friends when they were young, but true, proper wings. She had long, primary feathers, as long as her body with her wings tucked in. Her body, her legs. What? That's one sentence. Her body, her legs.
Congrats, author, you suck already. Alright.
She was larger now than any pony in Equestria, and stronger than the strongest of the Earth ponies. Her horn had grown as well. It had once been an unassuming little blunt nub.
Like now, a nipple.
Now it was a great, sharp land several feet long. Are you gonna make a sexual joke?
You just did for me. It was in...
We're gonna take forever to read this.
Oh god, yes. This is gonna be delicious.
It was a potentially lethal weapon, and the source of all her power. Even her mane and tail had changed, becoming magical. They flowed on unseen currents. They were slightly different than Celestia's had been, seeming to flow more downwards, as if the current of a cascading waterfall rather than drifting on a breeze. It's me, Spike, she told him. Really?
No way.
You got my letter? He asked her. Her horn glowed and a scroll hovered before his eyes. It had turned yellow and was cracking around the edges. He had never expected the paper to last for 100 years. He had just written it before his 100-year nap, and he had never guessed he'd see it again. I'm sorry, he told her.
What's going on?
We'll figure that out.
Don't be a condescending dick about it.
Awkward.
Hi, my name is Colin.
I know, Spike. So am I. Only I've had to wait this long to tell you. You waited for me? No, I didn't.
Only for 100 years, you fucking unassuming little prick.
For 100 years, back at the palace. I've got a country to run, Spike, but all this time I've been waiting for you. Do you forgive me? He asked. He didn't want to beat around the bush any longer. Twilight sighed heavily. She walked forward the few remaining steps, turned her head so her horn wouldn't spear him, and then rested her face upon his massive beast-like snout. I do, she whispered, and I wish I had before you ever went to sleep. It's been a long wait since our last goodbye. I don't even understand it all anymore. I don't understand what I was thinking, or what you were thinking. What was I thinking?
Good question.
Yes, Spike, what were you thinking? How could you even ask that of me? Twilight felt an old anger rising inside of her. She did her best to suppress it. The talk wasn't going to be the way she had expected. You're no fool, even ignoring my station in life. You're a dragon, and I'm a pony.
Really?
You'll be very long-lived, but I'm immortal. It would be like rarity. Oh, I see. But, and that's ignoring my station. But I am the princess, Spike. Surely you had to have. No.
Wait, where?
Surely you had to have no. It was impossible.
I could rail him, but it's just a letter. If it was a comma splice, God, that guy would be on fire. But we get it.
What on earth were you thinking? I was thinking.
He was thinking with the wrong head. That's what he was thinking.
Spike had only just woken up. He hadn't prepared for any of this. All he could do was speak from the heart. Yes? I was thinking about friendship, and that time we spent learning about friendship. You and me. Friendship is magic, Twilight. And with magic, you can do the impossible. I guess that thought that friendship, well, I guess it could conquer anything. Oh, Spike, Twilight. Oh,
Spike.
Oh, Spike. Yeah, that's the way. Twilight backed away from him, shaking her head. She looked up his long snout and into his eyes. Friendship is magic, Spike, but there are things that are even more powerful. Well then, love. My duty to Pony, Spike. My responsibility. And besides, you didn't love me. You loved Rarity.
Can I have some background, please?
Fuck that.
Yeah, what is the background? What's that? We don't need background. Don't touch the camera, it was fine.
I think it's just like, since it's canon that him and Rarity.
It's not even. It's the.
Like,
why do I always lick your skin? Is gross. Ew. It's not. Fuck it. Keep going. No, Twilight. I was infatuated. Aha! That's what I was gonna say too.
No, Twilight. I was infatuated with Rarity, but I loved you. I realized that after I had grown. Spike. Infatuation is fast. It's cheap. But love? Twilight, that's something that lasts forever. It builds slowly. It burns. Remember all those years we lived together? Learned together? Twilight, you were my first.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
What the just happened? Wait, where's my hat?
I don't know.
Are you laying on it?
No, I bet Wes moved it. I'm not laying on your goddamn hat.
You are?
Damn it. I was laying on it. I'm sorry. Now Joe fell out of frame.
Not working.
Fuck. I got this, ready? Stop it.
Sexy. Get sexy, kid. Anyway,
It smells like meat.
Okay.
You were my first.
Oh, please.
Probably like love.
Oh, please. Spike, by our current ages, we were only children. We were playing with our bodies.
Whoa, aha! It is sex. Sex is good.
Are you telling me that it didn't mean anything to you? He asked her, point blank. She simply stood there, looking back, not betraying any emotion. Hot, steamy air blew from Spike's nostrils as he sighed.
Nostrils?
Nostrils. Well, new paragraph, motherfucker.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
This is not a new paragraph.
Right here it is. Right here it should be.
It should be, but it's not.
That's... You're an idiot.
Actually, no, it isn't, because it's still Spike talking.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense.
Boned! Keep reading.
Well, it meant something to me, and I love you, even if you don't share it. So I didn't have much of a choice. I couldn't live with myself if I hadn't asked. To be honest, I knew you probably wouldn't be happy with me, Twilight, but it was that was a chance I had to take. Spike? Twilight asked. Yeah? You're such a brave little dragon, she told him. She said it just like she used to say it all those years ago. She stepped forward and replaced her head against his snout. I'm not so little anymore. Really? Really? I'm sorry I got so mad at you. I overreacted. I never meant to hurt you. It's okay. It's just... Spike? Have you ever really thought about what it means to be immortal? Truly immortal? I would have to watch you grow old and die. My heart would break, just like what happened with you and Rarity, only over a longer time scale. But Twilight, Spike said. I was prepared for that. Oh, I think that Spike and Rarity did end up, like, I don't know, getting funky, and they're, like, married or something, and then Rarity died.
It's funny that we're making Fanon for a Fanon.
Wait, why is Twilight Sparkles the, like,
She got-
ruler now?
Because fuck context she is.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, because fuck you, the author doesn't do shit. Actually, you know what, we still got like, I don't know, probably about 15/16 of a story to read.
Oh.
So,
No, where did, like, Celestia go? Did she just, like, disappear?
she probably just passed on her immortality and kicked the bucket.
That would make sense.
Just like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like, fuck this, I'm old. Anyways.
But Twilight, Spike said, I was prepared for that. Spike felt Twilight place a hoof on his snout right next to his face. It was Rarity that rejected me. She didn't want me to become heartbroken when she grew old and weak. Oh, well, that just ruins that.
So yeah, there goes our Fanon.
Maybe we should just read the story.
Yeah.
Maybe she thought she was being charitable by rejecting me, but I would have stayed with her until the end without a complaint. But I understand where she was coming from. And I know I asked too much of you. I'm sorry, Twilight. I really am. Spike felt the other hoof rising to touch his snout, but he didn't feel the single tear that fell from her cheek. I've loved you too, Spike, she whispered, and it did mean something to me.
Then why did you say that it didn't?
Because fuck them.
You disgusting whore.
Spike said nothing. He would wait for Twilight to say the next word. He let her cry on his snout. She hadn't cried in all the 100 years he had been asleep, or since her coronation, or for many years before that. Meanwhile, while the rest of Spike's body was beginning to stir from its hibernation, blood flow was returning to his limbs.
Big boner coming.
Wait, just stop.
Wait for it.
The end of his long tail began to twitch. His pulse began to race. It took me all these years to realize it, Spike, she sniffed. I do love you, she said it louder. I would spend your entire life by your side if you'd have me. But you know my place is on the throne. You know I can't have you at court. I know, Spike rumbled. I wish. Yeah. Sounds like... Never mind.
Sounds like who? Sounds like your dad.
No.
What's your dad like? I want to meet that.
Sounds like when I'm texting my girlfriend and
I wish we could hang out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that sounds like everybody.
Yeah.
I just
wish. Twilight struggled for words. I don't know. She sighed. She kissed him on the snout, right at the brick-like tip. She smiled. I wish you still had regular lips, she added. Spike's cave seemed to shake as he chuckled under his breath. I'm not even full grown, he laughed. Well, stop growing, she said. You're big enough already. Any bigger and you'll be too big for me.
Huh?
I don't know.
Maybe.
She kissed him again. This time it was harder and longer. She hoped he could feel her lips through his thick armored scales. He couldn't, but he appreciated the affection anyway. Spike extended his tongue from his mouth.
Here we go.
It was long now and forked. He slid it underneath her chin, up her neck, and wrapped it around the prehensile tine around the top of her ear and the other underneath.
And then he choked her out while she masturbated, and she died of autoerotic asphyxiation in the end.
Cool. We're done here.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
It was the closest thing he could do to kissing these days, and he felt sorry for that.
Tonguing her ears, the closest you can get to kissing.
He felt her wiggle. He heard her sigh. The wings on her back rose up into the air. Her long feathers splayed out behind her. She had never seen Twilight in such a state before. It suited her. She looked beautiful when aroused. He knew then that she felt the same way about him as he did about her. Our bodies are so different now, he said, even more than before. I don't care, said Twilight. Twilight said, dragging her lips across his snout. I love you. Bodies don't matter to me. Yeah, it will do. It will when it's like 12-foot dick is going straight into your...
12 foot seems a little small.
For a dragon, I suppose.
Maybe 12 foot in width.
Oh, God.
Good thing she's a princess.
He was tugging at her ear now. Roll over, she moaned.
Moaned is the key word there.
Roll over, she moaned.
Roll over. Shut up. I've been with a lot of women.
I don't... What, 3?
More than you have.
Touche.
So, Spike... Please, go ahead.
Spike obeyed her command. His meager treasure hoard clattered as he shifted his bulky body. Twilight stiffly flapped her wings.
Slutty.
Flapped her wings, leapt into the air, and lay down on top of him. The scales on the underside of his body were so different. They were dry and clean, but very smooth, almost slippery. They were flexible and very comfortable underneath Twilight's sprawled body. Each scale was warm, almost hot. There was fire in Spike's throat and belly, a terrible magical fire. They were more sensitive as well. Now when Twilight planted her lips at the nape of his neck, he could feel them and respond to them. He groaned as she kissed him, and his underside flexed. His scales rolled like waves on the ocean as Twilight rode on top of them.
That's not sexual at all.
Twilight reached his arms up to her. He couldn't kiss her anymore, but he could still touch her. His talons were razor sharp, and he had the strength to crush a gemstone, but he delicately brushed aside her hair with one claw. He used the back of another to gently caress the length of her horn. It glowed as his touch. So this story, I guess, horns are a...
Erogenous.
Yay.
Yay.
She started to inch her way down his body. Oh, son of a bitch.
We always get ourselves in these awkward situations where we all have weird boners and we don't want to keep reading, and I just said that out loud, didn't I? Just keep going. So we'll forget about it. In 5 minutes, that will not even have relevance.
His scales were getting broader and flatter. He could crane his neck down now and nuzzle at her horn. Twilight's wings were so stiff now that they rose almost vertically off her back. Spike reached out and grabbed them at their base. Twilight stretched her head up and back and groaned. Her hind legs had been straddling Spike's belly. She now began to grind her hips. Oh, son of a...
Welcome to the explicit section of Pony Archives.
Oh, and there is still...
Oh yeah, we still got like 7/8 of a story to read. Oh my god, who writes this much porn?
About ponies. Why are we reading this?
Because we're idiots.
Yeah.
We're probably already a good 2,000 words deep. It's like a 40,000 word... No, it's not that much. It's like probably...
Okay. His scales
words.
were warmer than her own flesh. She leaned her head back down and continued the kissing. She was still moving down his body, humping herself against the ridge each scale as she went. She hadn't let herself lose this much control over her body in a long, long time. She decided not to hold anything back. She was burning up inside. She left a wet streak on Spike as she scooched backwards.
Wow.
Oh, the next sentence is even better. Spike had been fully erect almost since the moment he'd woken up.
Very nice.
His erection was now laying on his belly, pointing upwards.
It's accusing.
Twilight slowly backed onto it. She brushed her long, flowing tail over it.
And he came immediately at the end.
Yes, that'd be so amazing. I mean, we could just do that right now.
We could and be like, we're not going to read this because it's fucking long as shit. Well,
We'll get past the first year, maybe.
Yeah, we'll call it good for the night. We're big boys. We can come back to this. Anywho, all right, you're done.
Okay. I finished anyway. That was a joke.
He wishes it was a joke. Little does he know that he, in fact, finished all over himself.
No.
Lies!
Anyway.
My teeth look really white in the camera. Alright. Anyways, as Joe just sits there.
She was...
That paragraph.
Spike rested his head on the ground and exhaled sharply through his nose. Spots of green flame shot several feet into the air, curling and twisting. When he looked back down, Twilight had already sat up and turned around, facing away from him. She hefted it up with her front hose. It was heavy and unwieldy. It was too large for her, even with her unnaturally large size, and Spike would only continue to grow. She didn't care. She loved him.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, we're done. She loved him, and she, the princess, would have what she wanted.
Ow! That even hurts me.
Oh, it just gets better and better.
Of course it does.
Twilight placed the tip of it on her tongue. It's,
okay, fellatio isn't so bad yet.
His thin, red skin was hot to the touch. She pressed her lips around it and started to suck.
This sucks.
Not far down the shaft was a ring of fleshy nubs, more or less the bottom of his head. This was as far as she could reach with her mouth. Her lips just grazed each nub. Her jaw couldn't open any wider. She couldn't come even close to reaching the horizontal ribs that were further down his shaft.
I can't even picture this.
Yeah, that's...
I don't want to picture this. I'm just kind of reading through it.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. A nail? What's a nail? Yeah. I liked that story. It was silly. She didn't mind that she couldn't do more.
Spike didn't mind that she couldn't do more. The fact that she was here and trying to please him was more than enough to make him happy. His claws were now placed around her rocking hips. They're razor sharp though, so try not to claw her ass open.
Maybe she likes that. Maybe she's a little Miss Rarity Tumbler.
Or maybe, Spike has a shit fetish. Scat fetish.
Scat fetish. Ew. He's a scat man. Skibbity dog.
Remember from that one story we read?
Yeah, I do. Oh, God.
She couldn't... Alright.
It just so happened that he had a piss and scat fetish. Of course he did.
Her body had changed, but her coat still felt the same. She took him out of her mouth. She danced her lips and tongue over each of the little knobs. Then she hugged the whole thing close to her. Holy shit!
Must be fucking huge.
It was almost as large as herself.
Okay, and then she's altered, so she's huge.
All four legs around it, she gracefully laid back on Spike, so as if it was on top... so that it was on top of her body. Then in one fluid motion, she rolled that so that she was on top of it. Spike gasped in surprise. He had been watching the whole thing, yet he hadn't expected her to move so sensuously.
Because a barrel roll is sensuous.
She began to hump again, this time directly on his shaft, and those fleshy ribs she hadn't been able to reach with her mouth. Wait.
That made sense.
Okay. She gradually moved up it. She wriggled on the soft nubs, rubbing her clit across them. God damn.
Oh, you haven't even hit the dialogue yet. The dialogue is amazing.
God. Stop reading ahead.
Oh, you do this all the time.
Twilight backed up into it, letting it slide between her cooler, sensitive lips. Her mouth fell open. He felt better than she remembered. What?
He felt better than she remembered?
Yes. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, because they talked about they had sex in the past.
Oh, right.
They were little kids.
Oh, okay. I get it now. My mind's being slow.
It's okay. We've only been at this store for I can't tell because my camera's fucked up.
She worked herself down...
past the ring of nubs.
Past the ring of nubs, down to the ribs that she was so fond of. She worked him like that, standing up on all four hooves on his belly, driving her hips down and back on his cock. She was only reaching halfway when she was still penetrating her deeply. Steam was rising where she was getting his cock wet. Occasionally she would beat her powerful wings, twitching in orgasmic fury. When she came, Spike was holding her front hooves with his claws and helping her squat down as far as she could.
That just sounds hilarious.
Twilight finished with a joyful scream. She straightened her hind legs back out, and he fell out of her.
Flop.
And she collapsed onto his belly, exhausted. She returned kissing and licking at his warm abdominal scales. She loved this, she realized. She could keep it up forever. He was cautiously sweeping her sweaty mane off her face. Twilight.
This is the best part right now. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Twilight? Yes? Is it okay if I finish? He asked her, not wanting to push her. You know it is, Romeo, but I don't want to hurt you.
Powerful orgasms.
I understand, Spike, but I'm immortal now.
Immortal.
Oh, yeah, I'm immortal now. Nigh indestructible, she smiled and slid off his belly. She landed on all fours on the floor of his cave. Take me, Spike, as hard as you want. I know I can take it. Oh,
all night.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, let's do this. Do this, man. Got this.
Spike didn't need to be told twice. He rolled over and then squatted down behind her. He grabbed her hips and mounted her. He slid it gently at first. He was still wet and loose. She was still wet and loose after having ridden him, but she had only taken him halfway. Spike realized she was right. She wouldn't let him hurt her. Besides, he couldn't help himself any longer. He wasn't a greedy lover by nature, but he was just too overwhelmed with passion and emotion. His slow, careful, shallow thrusting changed. He began to hammer into her, hard, his full length. Her belly was distending from the size of him with each thrust. Spike roared.
I don't think I'd be okay with this.
Yeah, his superheated breath made the air before his face shimmer above. He came. His load was too large for her as well. Hot white semen erupted like a torrent from her rump.
Wait, her rump.
It fell to the floor in a steaming pool. Spike dismounted. He took a few awkward, sketchy... That was fast.
Yeah.
Sketchy steps to the side, then mopped down to the floor. Flopped down to the floor. Fuck. Can't read, obviously.
It's okay, I can't either.
Getting up from 100 years of napping was always difficult for a dragon. Unexpected lovemaking only added to the strain.
Yeah.
He exhaled again, and little spouts of green flame curled up at his nostrils. Twilight stretched her body and then walked over and lay down next to him. She curled up next to his neck under the wide green fin on his face. You know, I can only imagine the dragon from the Fluttershy episode, Dragon Shy.
Yeah.
That's the only dragon
Except for, like, different color.
No, I can't even imagine the different colors right now. I don't know why. It's weird. I love you, he rumbled. I love you too, Spike. You have no idea how long I've waited for that. Hey, Spike laughed. I've been asleep for 100 years. I know, and I've been waiting that long.
At least
Really?
that long.
Ha! At least that long. Really? Aren't you surrounded by all those royal guards? Ha! Twilight laughed. That's just not my thing. Princess Celestia found solace with them.
But yeah, I don't want Celestia's sloppy seconds. That's alright with me.
But I've never thought of them in that way. I guess she never had a dragon like you in her life. Oh my god.
Hot.
How long do I have before you have to go back to court? An hour. Maybe 2. That's all? I'm sorry, Spike. I wish you could come. I'm going to miss you. Spike, I'm not going to let you get away from me again. Every single chance I get, I'm going to spend my time with you. Loving you. So, every chance I get, you're gonna fuck.
Oh yeah.
So you can actually bring me to court. You'll love me in secret. The princess's clandestine lover. Her paramour, you know? That's not so bad. I think I could get used to that. Oh, Spike, she said. Promise me one thing, he asked. Yes? Promise me that you'll be there when I wake up after my next hibernation. After every hibernation. You have no idea how wonderful it is to hear your voice again through all the fog of all that sleep.
Through the fog of all that sleep.
Shut up. And besides, when I first wake up, well, I tend to be a little frisky.
Hot.
Spike reached around with his long tail and began to stroke her mane with it. Oh, Spike, Twilight moaned. I promise.
Alright, now here's the question. Do we want to say that was a good story? We're wrapping it up because we still have a fucking long-ass time to go. And frankly, I don't think I could stand that much scroll bar of this story.
I have a feeling it's gonna be the same damn thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like already.
Wait.
Okay, apparently...
Wait.
Is that what I think? Okay. Okay, that wasn't exactly what I thought it was.
Stalingrad, huh?
That's, canon. Stalingrad. I thought she was gonna be pregnant, though.
That was a joke.
You know what? I don't really care. Alright, we're calling it good. I'm not reading all of this goddamn story. Thanks to RegaingSemi Boner for the story. It was fun while it lasted, I suppose. I guess I'm reading
Wow, there
next.
wasn't even any clop in that one, I think. Someday.
Yeah, well. Anyway.
Someday I'll reawaken.
Hey, 1992.
It'll be the first thing I see when I open my eyes. I can't wait. Speaking of waiting.
So
And then a deep sigh as they made love.
that counts as clop. Anyways, so we're not reading this. That's too fucking long. We're gonna be here till 2 in the morning reading this goddamn story, and it's 11. I'm reading the next story. It's probably gonna be
This
Andrew's,
turns into like
if I can figure
some
out.
sort of political bullshit.
Yeah, all right, we're done here. Say goodbye to the camera.
Bye, camera.
Yeah, that's how I feel after the story.
See you guys.
Nom nom nom. All right, we're done.